Welcome to Finding 40, from maternity to mugshots and everything in between. Welcome to Finding 40, and this is our first live recording, so I'm so excited to be here live.
Woo! Yes!
So I have my friend, I was trying to think of all the ways to introduce you, my partner in crime,
Bang, bang.
my mentor, therapist, just amazing friend, Mia Turner Whitley. She is a published author, a public speaker. I actually recently completed one of her executive leadership trainings that she does. So that was amazing. She's doing big things in the corporate world. So has an amazing training background, mentorship. So just an amazing friend and an awesome resource for me. I'm so blessed to be friends with her and be able to call her for advice and encouragement. So, Mia Turner Whitley.
Yay! I am so honored to be here. This is so amazing. The beautiful Emily. Let's give it up for her. It's all about you tonight, lady. It's all about you.
Thank you.
I am so honored. Thank you for all the kind words. I appreciate that. Those mean a lot to me. And it's amazing how sometimes you can connect with people. The very first time I met E, I call her E, we connected like this. Yeah. And it was absolutely an amazing adventure and journey as we have continued on. And I have been here as she has been finding 40.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad she found it.
I found it. It found me.
Yes, looking fabulous up here
you.
on this stage in
Thank
this
you.
world that she has created. I love that you took and made lemonade out of lemons. Now let's do something better. You made a lemon pound cake.
Yes, thank you.
Out of all them lemons.
Thank you.
Because I have been here for it.
Yes, because we started in corporate America together.
Yes.
And we kept saying back then, you know what? We both have similar missions and goals, and our paths are going to cross again, even whenever we went to different companies. So it's been awesome that it has crossed again. We've stayed in touch and been able to partner on some things. So.
Yes, absolutely. We remember we used to call each other Thelma and Louise.
Yes, Thelma and Louise.
We were like the Thelma and Louise of training, but then they died at the end. So
we didn't want to do that.
We had to pick somebody else. We didn't pick nobody yet.
But no, we got to think of something.
It's been us, and it's been amazing. So I am honored to be here this evening with my gorgeous friend Emily. And you know, as a woman, we go through a lot.
Yes.
We go through a lot, especially with them M-A-N, M-E-N, M-E-N-S, M-A-N-S, whatever you want to call them, that part.
Yes.
That has been a lot. And then looking at her journey and just how she has grown over the years. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about finding 40. How did Emily find 40? So let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
All right. So my first question is, tell us a little bit more about yourself to your listeners, and tell us a little bit about who you are outside of the podcast. Remember, keep it PG.
PG, yes.
Yeah.
I did not dip into the Seagram's drinks over there, so we're going to keep it PG. I'm a mom of 3. My beautiful oldest baby is here supporting me, which means the world to me. And I can't elaborate or I'll start crying because she knows I'm a big baby. She makes fun of me for being an emotional cancer, but I am. So I'm a mom of 3. I have 3 amazing children who really are the drive and motivation for a lot of things that I do. I want to be a positive role model for them, and I want to leave a legacy as well. So that's the biggest part of me is motherhood. But I also work at a corporate America job. And right now, you know, I'm the definition of doing what you have to do until you can do what you love to do.
That part.
But also the reason that this podcast, I know they're probably either sick of me coming up here or forgot about me for a while because I think we recorded our episode like a year ago. It's been definitely a labor of love, but trying to balance corporate America, kids, and then this podcast. So what inspired me to start it, and I think I'm jumping into some of your questions,
go right ahead.
So my journey, I had a crazy divorce that took 5 years. And so going through that, so many positive things happen out of that mess.
Right.
One of them being with you.
Yes.
So Mia was, she's a published author, and so one of her books is an anthology, and I had the opportunity to write a chapter in her book about being a single parent. So even in that storm that I was going through in my life where I was like, man, I'm a single parent again, like this is not what I'd imagined for my life, but I was still able to accomplish one of my goals, which was to become a published author. So there were still like, you know, pieces of happiness and joy throughout this like mess that I was going through. And then I also just continued to meet women that had similar experiences. So they were going through a custody battle or a divorce or different things. And I thought they need to share their story.
Yes.
I know I've probably jumped way into the story.
This is your thing, baby.
I had a best friend. I still have a best friend. Her name's Christy. Hey, Christy. That's the camera. She's not here. She's in Oklahoma. you know, all my friends and family are in Oklahoma. So I would talk to her every day on the phone, and going through this, if I didn't have her to talk to, I would have felt like I was going crazy.
Right.
Because of the things I was going through and experiencing. And even people that knew me that hadn't been through something similar, they were going, that can't happen like that. The court, it doesn't work like that. The court can't do that. Right. And so I felt like I was like, am I crazy? Am I in the twilight zone? Like, am I being punked right now? Like, what is going on? And so to have that person that had been through something similar, I don't know how I would have made it through without her. And so I thought, how do women go through this that don't have that best friend or that family member? You know, my mother was a super big support system. Yes. How do they go through that if they don't have it? And so I thought, well, if I could have a platform for women to share their story, if they don't have that friend to call, they can listen to an episode and go, that happened to me. That happened to me too. You know, I'm not crazy. I went through the same thing. So that was really the reason behind starting the podcast. And but because I said I have a corporate job and 3 kids, it just took a lot longer than I wanted it to.
And you know what? The important thing is whenever we start something, is completing it.
Yes.
And along our journeys, it may not always happen like 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Yeah.
Right? So sometimes there are those pauses in there. But I see and I know that Finding 40 was a part of your mission.
Right.
So the aha moment, what was the aha moment? Was it thinking about all the women and the things that we actually go through, especially when we have to go through a horrible divorce and the things that people can do even after the divorce? The divorce is over and you're still acting a fool like, I'm going on about my life. I ever going back to what was that aha moment for you?
I can't think of like a specific time. I know there were several along the way. Especially with our court system and just dealing with, you know, our court system does not protect the victim in any case. I mean, not just family court, but that's a whole other topic and episode. Exactly. But there were just so many conversations along the way with different women where I was like, this has to happen. This happened. Yes. And I just jumped into it knowing that I had to do it, but not really having a plan, and which we can talk about that later, what I learned as my mistakes along the way. Okay. But, I think there were several moments where I was like, okay, this needs to happen.
And you said something that was very important, and that was sometimes when we are going through things, it's so easy to get lost in our own thoughts. Yeah. It's bad enough you have a situation going on, right? Right. But then our imaginations can take us further away from what is possibly the truth. Yet, I will say that some of the challenges that E ran into, it's like you can't make this up. Yeah. So we want to get into her journey a little bit more in just a moment. However, I want to talk about your mission. So you mentioned that It's those women, whoever those women are. And maybe you're a woman that you're like, ooh, that's why I'm single. I ain't never getting married. But then, the person comes along, the special person comes along, and hopefully it works out. But in cases where it doesn't, thinking about Finding 40. You found 40, and 40 is the place to be, right here at Finding 40 on this podcast. Whereas Emily has already said, you can hear other countless stories, because guess what? You are not alone, right? A lot of times we think we can get bagged up and our back is against the wall and everything is falling in and that's it. No, it's not.
Right.
So you think about when we go through labor, for those of us that have had children, it's a long process. Then there comes the beautiful bouncing baby. Right. So that's how I kind of see this journey that you're on right now. So with that being said, thinking about your core mission, and as we know, with any great organization, whatever it is your thing is, you have a vision, right? You have a mission, you have a purpose for doing it. So we understand that it is women. Is there something else you want to add about your mission with Finding 40?
Sure. So, and I called it Finding 40. I'm in my 40s, but it's not just for women in their 40s. And I've had guests in their 20s, 30s, 40s. I just called it Finding 40 because I happen to be in my 40s when I'm just now finding myself. So it's for women finding themselves, finding their voice again. I wanted a platform for women to take their power back and to take their voice back and be able to share their story. So that was really my mission, to empower women, to give them a platform. Your story, there's so much power in sharing your story without filtering it, because you need to say it a certain way in front of the judge or in front of a family member. Or so it was therapeutic to me to have these beautiful women who inspired me, sitting and listening to their story and what they've been through and overcome, that I knew, if that is so powerful to me, I know it's going to be powerful to other women, and I want to make sure that I give them a platform to have that voice. So the first season was dedicated to women who have made it out of domestic violence situations, but that's not all that Finding 40 is, because we are not just that moment in our life. We're so much more than what we've been through.
Exactly.
Don't start that, because I will start crying. You know, I was in y'all's episodes bawling, so I got to get that under control. But we're not defined by that relationship. We're not defined by that divorce. We're not defined by that hard season of our life. There's so much more to it. And I want people to see. And when I share my story, I went from, because one of my chapters in the book, I went from sleeping on a mattress on the floor with my 3 babies, going like, this is it. This is what my life is going to be. I'm here, to now, not that material things matter, but I feel like it helps paint a good picture.
It does.
I just got a house with a pool in the backyard for my babies, which my 20-year-old is like, really, now you get a pool now that I'm 20? But to be able to go from that place in my life that was so dark and felt so hopeless to creating the life that I absolutely love right now, like to be whole, to be healing, to be happy, and I want that for every woman. I love that. Don't y'all love that? Yes. What we do now? Clock it.
Because guess what? That was absolutely amazing. And I love how it's not just, well, let me back. I'm going to say this. Domestic violence doesn't just happen to someone just because you're in your 20s or your 30s or your 40s or your 50s or 60s, right? And in that cycle, when it comes to domestic violence, it can really tear you down. And the thing about domestic violence is that there are so many variations that people don't even consider. So not only is there the physical abuse, I think the worst one is that mental, emotional, because a person can tear you down.
To nothing.
They will break you to nothing. and make you feel like you're nothing and you're not capable of being you. Don't nobody else want you. You can't raise these kids. They won't take the kid. All this craziness. Yeah. Because guess why they do that? Because it's something strong in you that will overcome that and has overcame, as we can see here with my beautiful friend. And I wanted to ask you this. Why did you feel it was so important to create that platform where people that have been in domestic violence situation, why was that just so important?
With domestic violence, especially, I feel like there's so much shame for some reason.
Yes.
And isolation, where you feel like I don't want people to know this is what I went through, because we blame ourselves, and maybe not everybody, this is my perspective, but I feel like women, we blame ourselves. We look at, what did I do to deserve that?
Right.
And I wanted to shine light on it, and I wanted people to see it doesn't discriminate by age, race, background, religion.
Nope.
And I keep getting confirmation. I'll tell you, I went on my birthday cruise, right?
Nice, yes.
Okay, so I'm on my birthday cruise having a good time. I was with my best friend, Shamika. She's running late. She's supposed to be here. And our rule, because we were in another country, was to stick with the family, right? We didn't just wander off on our own. Absolutely. So this lady, little petite, bossy lady, I hope she sees this. She adopted us and was like, y'all are coming with us, So we went with her, and we ended up just adopted into their family following. So I'm sitting at the dinner table, and I end up having a conversation with two women I've never met, both beautiful, well put together. I mean, we're telling them, I need my martini glass filled, like running people in the ship. You never would look at them and think, and we ended up sitting there sharing stories, and they both had been through domestic violence. They both almost had their life taken. And you never would have, that was not my first impression, because we have that stereotype in our head, or we think it only happens in this community, or this whatever background, religion, whatever, and it doesn't. It's everywhere. It happens everywhere. So you could be looking at a woman at work who shows up every day, put together, showing up smiling and telling you you're doing a good job, and you have no idea what she's going home to.
Yes.
So I wanted to shine light on domestic violence, to take the, trying to think of the word, stigmatism, off of it. It's not something that you did wrong to deserve. It's not just a certain background. It can happen to anyone, and keeping it silent gives it power. Yes. So let's talk about it. Let's get away from the shame that this happened to me. Take your power back. Tell your truth. Tell your story, even when they act crazy and you got to deal with it. Right. Yes. And to go on and get past that was a chapter in your life, but that's not the end of chapter. There's so many beautiful chapters to write after that. Yeah. So I wanted to, women to be able to share, because I just kept getting confirmation. I was like, I'm running into so many women. This is a problem everywhere. Yes. It's not just something that a certain age group or anything goes through.
One of the words that came to me as you were talking is safe spaces.
Yes.
And that's what we need, safe spaces. Safe spaces to me are spaces where you can be free, you can be authentically you, and it's a no judgment zone.
Yes.
It's about you showing up just as who you are. Right? So even in this particular safe space with Finding 40, if that is your story, then know that that's a part of your story. That's just a chapter in the novel of your life.
Right.
Right? So then understanding the overcoming part. Right? So thinking about the things that you had to do to overcome. Just imagine, how many episodes is that in the first?
6. So 6 episodes for season 1.
Okay.
And there were 6 guests, but there are so many other women who already signed up to come share their story.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Let's give it up for E for that. Yes. Absolutely amazing. So 2 things. Safe spaces was the first thing. The second thing is I challenge all of us. Whatever that thing is, that dream, that passion, that thing, that platform. Sometimes we wait on somebody to open the door for us so we can walk in and things, I guess, are going to magically fall into our laps. No, sometimes we have to go out and create our own platform. So who is it that you have a mission? Who is it that you're supposed to be serving? Right? Think about that, because E has found her people.
Right.
So I'm so grateful for you doing that with your first season. So y'all make sure y'all tune in to every single episode. I believe it's on YouTube. She's on podcast. We'll get to all of that good stuff a little bit later, but I want to just put a pin in there and say, watch every episode, make comments. If it's YouTube, subscribe to her channel, like, share, all of that, because some woman or man needs to hear that story. So with that being said, Emily, what is it that you want everyone to take away from each of your episodes?
So that's a question that I would ask each of my guests at the end of it. And
Nice.
so almost every woman said, if I can make it out of there, then you can too. If I can make it through that, if I can go through all that and still, I gotta quit making eye contact because you're gonna make me cry, stop it. If I can go through that and make it out, then you can too. And so that's what I want every woman. I want every woman who listens to the podcast, every woman, even if you don't listen to the podcast, I want every woman to know you deserve a life of happiness, of wholeness, that you are worth it, that you are worthy. And I want women to feel that. That's my whole mission.
I love it. Absolutely beautiful. As beautiful as you.
Aww.
So we're going to shift it just a little bit.
Okay.
And so tell us, who has inspired you the most on your journey?
I want to say the guests, the women who were, because I filmed my episode and I haven't posted it, and I need to redo it because one of my guests came with like a binder and an outline, and she was so organized. I won't name any names, but she had it down, and I was like, I should have done that with a timeline, because mine went from I left to then I got arrested, and then it was everywhere. It was everywhere. But the women that came and were so vulnerable to share what they went through, I was inspired every time. I was in there bawling with them, crying and like, man, they went through so much. That is so inspiring. And now the women that they are, business owners, entrepreneurs, amazing mothers. Like, I get goosebumps. I was so inspired. The podcast did more for me than it did for them, I felt like. Like, it was so empowering and therapeutic. And I appreciate them. That's one of the reasons I was like, I have to do this launch, because I'm doing them a disservice by having these episodes sitting on my hard drive and not having them out there for everybody to listen to. Because if it inspired me, it's going to inspire some more women. This has to get out there.
Yes.
So,
Thank you.
Thank you. And quit making me cry.
We cry babies, y'all.
Yeah.
I'll cry too.
Yeah.
We'll have us a little crying launch.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that being said, what were some of those things that you had to come, some of those obstacles before launching Finding 40?
Oh, man. So the
Give us
biggest,
the juice.
the biggest thing that I learned
Uh-huh.
and plug, because I have an ebook on starting a podcast and the mistakes I made.
Okay.
Because I want to help other people
You
too.
better go.
But I went into it like, this is on my heart. I need to do this. And I just jumped into it and did it. And I jumped into it and treated it like a hobby, right? Because a hobby costs you money. It doesn't make you money.
Exactly.
And it wasn't until I was halfway through that I was like, what do you do? You had a consulting, you know how to run a business? Why are you not treating this podcast like a business? And so I was like, okay, let me think of something and that's another reason it was so slow, because I'm doing the episode and I'm paying out of my pocket, and this is my passion project, and my pockets weren't as passionate as I needed them to be all the time. So I was like, what can I do? So that's whenever I wrote the book about navigating a high conflict divorce.
Okay.
And we can talk about the books in a minute, but I was like, let me write a book about tools And it's not even my personal story. It's just tools I wish I would have had in the beginning of my journey. And I wanted women to have that. And so I made the ebook free. Anybody can download it, because I feel like if you need that and you're going through a messy divorce and you're spending a lot of money on attorneys, take it for free. I want you to have it. But then also I put it on Amazon, because I was like, let me take that money from the book sales to be able to pay for the podcast. And so I started to treat it like a business and wrote out my business plan and started to apply for grants and things like that. So that was my biggest mistake, is just jumping into it without a plan. You know me, I'm a planner. I make lists for everything. We can go on my iPhone and see these random lists of everything that I do. But with the podcast, like, I made list, but I just jumped into it without thinking, like, how am I going to finish it, though? I got episode 1 down. Okay, I did that. But what about the rest of the season? I still have to do that. So that was a big learning mistake.
And I really like that you want to share it with others, that you're not gatekeeping.
Yeah.
Because you really could easily. So we know, I don't think either one of us are really gatekeepers.
Not
so
at
what
all.
we can do to give to someone, I
Yes.
think that's a beautiful thing, planting those seeds. Yet the bills have to be paid. So
Right, yes, yes.
that part right there. I was just thinking, as you were talking about your journey with launching, did you ever have any self-doubt?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I had no idea. I knew I was self-conscious. I did not realize how self-conscious. Looking at the videos, I don't want to see them. I don't want to see them. I don't want to look at myself. I don't want to hear my voice. Like, I had to get past, like, this is not about you, Emily. This is not about you. You know, the mission is bigger than you.
Right.
So quit worrying about what your makeup looks like, what your hair looks like. You got to do it anyways. So that was a huge thing for me to overcome, just self-doubt. And then, you know, even that imposter syndrome that we have. Like, am I really supposed to be doing this? Am I really good enough to do this? Am I here in the right place? And but like I said, the women that I met along the way, I just continued to have confirmation. Yes, you need to do this. There's another woman that their story needs to be shared. There's another one. There's another one. So get your ego out the way.
Yes.
And do what you're supposed to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And them fears.
Yes.
And fear of rejection.
Yes.
Or whatever
Yes.
that thing may be. So the beautiful thing is, I like your blueprint. You know, even with making mistakes or when we fail, failing is a good thing, actually. You know why failing is a good thing?
You're going to learn a lot.
Exactly. And you can take that learning and monetize it.
Yeah, and market it.
If you want to, depending on what it is. So thinking about your personal story. So this is a time where you can share with us a glimpse of your personal story. And with that personal story, what was it about it that kind of blends in with your podcast, Finding 40?
My personal story and what I went through is my inspiration completely for this. Not just the divorce part and the custody battle, but the finding myself afterwards. You know, getting out of a unhealthy relationship and going, I don't even know how I like to decorate my house. Like I had somebody, you know, controlling or telling me, I didn't even know what do I like to do. Exactly. I don't even know what I like to do for fun anymore. Like, who am I? What do I want to do? Yeah. So that part I wanted to bring to the podcast of, let's talk about the different storms and chapters, you know, the domestic violence and making it out of that, but then also finding yourself after that. Go taking yourself on a date night by yourself, you know, becoming comfortable with being your only company, being in your own company. Trying to think of how that's, you know what I mean? Being by yourself, being by your damn self. That's what I'm trying to say. Once you become comfortable in that, it's so powerful, because then you don't have to wait for somebody to go do something with.
Yes.
So, but being alone and being in that situation where I went from having children all the time hanging on me, and now we have a joint custody situation, and I was going, what do I do? What do I do at home with no kids? Like, what? I got into a little trouble sometimes, but I can't be left unsupervised. I blame my 20-year-old. I will tell. I ended up with another tattoo. You left me unsupervised for the weekend. I don't know what to say, but finding yourself and being comfortable with that. You also, when you're sitting alone, you have to deal with your own mess.
Yes.
Because you have to say, okay, what about me? Let somebody do the things that they put me through.
Right.
Why? Okay, I didn't have boundaries.
Right.
You know, I lacked boundaries. I was raised, you know, to be caring and empathetic, and that's great and that's a beautiful quality. But like I tell my baby girl, when you have a light that people are drawn to, and you're caring and you're loving, that draws everybody to you. Unfortunately, that draws broken people to you as well, because they want to suck up that light and they want to use it to feel better about themselves. So you have to set very clear boundaries to protect that, to preserve yourself. And so spending that time alone and looking at, you know, what did I play a part in? What are things I need to heal from? And finding myself again in that, being able to be by myself and then having a blast doing it.
Yes.
I want to highlight that part too. Like I've had great experiences. I've even been on some good dates, you know, like things, you know, getting your groove back. So there's all the different chapters and pieces to it of Finding 40. So not just the storm that we went through. That is the inspiration to it, but the happiness, the rainbow on the other side is also the inspiration to it too.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes people get stuck in that. Get stuck in their situation and what's going on, thinking that what is a temporary situation or a temporary storm, that's going to be forever.
Right.
Like that's going to be a person's life. So with that being said, I have just a couple of more questions for you. One is, what keeps you motivated to do this?
I think just the fulfillment that I've been getting and the confirmation that I always, even before the podcast, my heart was for single moms because I live that, right? I know how hard that is. I know how hard it is to balance and what you go through and what you deal with. And so my heart, I always had a heart for single moms before that. Then adding the divorce and the custody battle to it, those are new challenges that I had. So just the confirmation that I continue to get, the people that, even like I said on the cruise, I met 2 women, like everywhere I go, I'm meeting women that are sharing their story, and I'm like, this needs to happen. These stories need to get out there. Women need to have that platform that is safe, like you said, a safe space, and to be able to share.
So as we are wrapping up, this has been absolutely amazing. Y'all, let's give it up again.
Thank you.
For our host, Finding 40,
Thank
Miss
you.
Emily, who's been doing an amazing work. And I'm just looking forward to the greater things that's to come from not only this platform, but if I know this lady, I know she got some other things up her
Have
sleeve.
some other things, yes.
So with that being said, where can listeners connect with you and follow you?
So we have a website, so it's finding40podcast.com. And then the episodes are on YouTube, Spotify, Apple. I think anywhere that you listen to podcasts, they should be up there now. So you can find us there. You can connect on social media, Instagram, Finding40 Podcast. Finding40 Podcast is on Facebook as well. So social media, website. And if you'd like to be a guest, there's on our Instagram, there's a form you can fill out to come and be a guest. I'm expanding. I have some women who I met on TikTok. So I'm going to do some virtual guests, which I haven't done yet. But we're going to do that in one of the next seasons. And then stay tuned for season 2, because season 2 is going to be uplifting and positive and powerful. And you're going to see the rainbow after the storm. And that's kind of on the cover of my book, too. So.
Yes. I absolutely love that. I wonder who that first guest is. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I do have a very special guest on there.
Okay, so if you could leave the audience with one empowering message today as we close out, what would it be?
As a woman, you are worth it. You are worth it, period. There's no explanation. No, you're worth it. There's no question to it. you're worth it. Happiness, wholeness, and there's literally no limits to the life that you can create. There's no limits to it. And that's the other thing I want women who hear these stories, because when you go from waking up and that feeling of like doom and dread and walking on eggshells, and then you go to waking up and being like, I can literally do whatever I want to do.
Yes, that
like
part.
There's nothing stopping me. That I want every woman to feel that there is nothing stopping me. I can do whatever I want to do in this life.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Absolutely. Let's give it up for our host,
Thank
Emily
you.
of Finding40.